Hello, my dear Kim. Welcome back.
Hey Andrea, how you doing?
I'm doing well. It's so good to see you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm pretty happy as a crypto investor.
I love it. I love it. I
Yeah,
know. I know.
I think it was 2.5 years ago that we first had our long phone appointment and laughed and cried and became friends and I started buying crypto.
That's right, right?
Yeah,
2.5 years during a bear market when the market's flat, when no one wants to buy, your dollar cost averaging. I am just so freaking proud of you. You are such a rock star.
oh, well, anybody that has the balls or ovaries to get into this market when it didn't look like it was running good, or everybody was saying, oh, this is the devil, or this is crazy.
I know.
It didn't ever seem any crazier to me than the legacy markets.
Well, right. And honestly, I don't really see, I mean, it's changing. We're going to see how this plays out, but our financial system's getting an upgrade, right?
Uh-huh.
And we're
Uh-huh.
moving to the blockchain. So everything is being tokenized, right? And our ownership is going to be held on the blockchain. So if I hold a United States dollar, like a lot of us hold USDC, United States digital coin, that's
Right.
held on the blockchain.
Right.
Everything is moving to the blockchain. So when they were calling it the devil, a scam, fraud, all this stuff, they were just misleading and lying to everybody, which made me sad.
Yeah, but it also made you get out there and inform people about it so they could make other choices, which we love you for.
Well, before we started, what did I say I was going to be? Santa's helper, bring
Yes.
in crypto and being your own bank throughout the world. It's time, right?
Yes.
Got to be
Yes.
our own bank. We got to hold a little bit of crypto because it is the new financial system.
Or maybe a lot if you can afford it.
Sure. Sure.
I mean, since this last month, 6 weeks, I'm like I need to invest more. I'm in the process of emptying out an old uh IRA
Yeah,
and putting it into iTrust, from which you can buy and trade
exactly.
into
Exactly.
crypto and gold and silver.
Yep. And you never pay taxes on that because it's like a retirement account.
Right. It was just a rollover.
Yep. It's just a rollover.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
So I'm about to have more to play with.
I love it. I love it. And and I think about the market now too, because I know it's like Bitcoin hit 100,000. Like, it's kind of like everybody gets FOMO, like fear of missing out, and everyone wants to rush into the market. And I think it's okay. Like we're still early enough, but I want everyone who has no experience in trading or investing, you don't really know what the blockchain is or cryptocurrency, just when you double your money, pull out your initial investment. So if you're going to put like $5,000 into XRP at $2.50, when XRP hits $5, pull out your initial investment so you don't lose money. Because we are not during the bear market, right? When you were buying, what was the price of Stellar?
Oh, it was teeny. I don't remember
Like
exactly.
nine
How
cents.
much was it? Yeah, yeah.
9 cents, 10 cents, 11 cents, right? Today, it's like 40
Right.
something cents. So
Right.
it'll go to 80 cents, a dollar, whatever. We don't know for sure, but like we're not, the bull run is not over. And then the last couple months of the bull cycle, that's when the prices shoot up to outer space. And everyone's like, how is this even possible? Right.
Yeah. And
But
why
we
didn't I put in more?
Right. We always ask ourselves that. But all new people like here, Kim and I, like, and again, Kim's talking, look, I'm gonna do it, but just we're gonna take profits, right? It's a trade. We're not investors anymore, we're traders, right?
Okay. I
Okay.
haven't even done that yet, but I
Right.
will for within the month probably.
Right. So it's like, you buy the dip, right? Like let's just say
Uh-huh.
XRP dips down to $1.50. You're gonna buy it, and then when it hits $3, you pull out your initial investment. Take all
Yes.
the risk off because when you were investing in XRP and Stellar, it was so cheap. It's like,
Right.
oh man, you could get 10 for $1 Stellar, you know, three for
Right.
a buck XRP or two for a buck, whatever it was. Now it's like it's 250. You know, that's a
Yes.
that's a lot of gains in a very short period of time.
Right. It's interesting. I was listening to a couple of different channelers. Um, Basically, different channelers are putting out their take on what these drones things are. But in both cases, they all said, we are not experts, but go find yourself an expert and buy a bunch of XRP. They're just like, this is channeling from the heavens now, not only through you. But they were also very smart to say, don't go in blind, find someone you trust
Yeah, it's so important.
and get help with that. And that's what I did 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, it's so important because it's like, and even it's such a good thing because like I'm so glad you brought it up. Like if I go to YouTube and I type in Ripple XRP, the first like that ad is a bot, and they're like, "Hi, my name is Monica Long, and I'm so and so from Ripple. If you send me your XRP, we'll send you double back." That's a scam.
Oh my, I didn't know that.
That's a scam, and the
Uh-huh.
scams are all over the place. It's funny because there's a song like um I want my MTV from back in the day.
Oh yeah.
It's like I want your XRP. Everyone's going to be trying to steal our coins.
Have you recorded that yet?
No, I gotta
I
write
want
it.
your XRP.
Yeah.
That'd be the next one.
Bots ain't working. That's the way they do
There
it.
you go. It's starting. It's starting.
You're not that dumb. Well, I'll come up with something. Yeah. But seriously, we have to be careful, right? So if Coinbase sends you an email, don't open it. Log into your account. This is where we're at in the bull run. Do not,
Oh,
no one's going to reach out to you like MetaMask, your hardware. No one's going to email you. So even if Coinbase sends you an email, we need to verify your identity. Don't do that. Go to Coinbase, log in, and see if they really want you to verify your identity.
right.
Okay.
Almost since the first time I signed up on Coinbase a couple of years ago, I've been getting emails from a Coinbase phantom on another email address.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I knew from the beginning that they were very sneaky, or at least the phantoms, the
Right.
fakers are very sneaky.
100%, and that kind of scam artist, right? And illicit activity, like that should all be like monitored. I find it funny, like the things they let people get away with, you know, it's like
Well,
everything on
the
YouTube.
big
Yeah,
they does not want the small people or what they may see as small time people to have this benefit, to have this power.
exactly.
And that's
Exactly.
what
I
I love
mean,
about you is because you want to empower us. You have empowered us.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's what it's all about. It's like the more sovereign and the more independent we are, the better we feel and the more we're going to thrive. Like that's how I look at the world.
Absolutely.
But we need the knowledge. We need the knowledge. Knowledge is power, and then we use that to spread love and light throughout the world. What else is there, really? Like to the best that we
Absolutely.
can.
I have a plan of three different nonprofits that are going to benefit from when I take profits on my
Nice.
on my crypto, because I am in the area that Hurricane Helene affected, and I still go 7 minutes from my house and see people living in tents. It's not it has not been an adequate response, except the people have done everything they could.
Right.
And so there's still there's years of work and of assistance that people need. And so one of my plans, one of my joys is I'm going to take a third of my profits and split them up between three organizations that I know personally are on the ground
Yes.
and know rich CEOs and all that. So
Okay.
this is empowering not only us, but empowering us to help. And like you say, spread the light and the love and help others.
Yeah. Can you
That's so
share that?
exciting.
Can you share those links with us? Because we're going to be doing a fundraiser, because we're coming up on the 28th.
Yes, I
So
know.
yeah, so just so everyone knows, my birthday is December 27th. So what I want for my birthday is to donate to these organizations that Kim is talking about.
Oh, okay. Well, I can tell you about them now, but I'll also give you, I can put the links in now.
Awesome. Yeah, put the
Should I
links
just put them
in.
in the chat?
Yeah, let me pull up a chat.
I'll just say a little bit about each of them. One of them is Beloved Asheville. And they, even before the storm, for about 8 years before the storm and 6 years before COVID, were helping the homeless people by going out every day with food and heaters and blankets and tents and presents when it's at Christmas and anything they can think of, literally going out in the van every day to find the people living down by the river and give them food and hook them up with social services if they're available. But of course, the social services are vastly inadequate. I know that because I was in social work for that 8 years.
Yeah.
So, beloved Asheville, they do anything for anybody.
And they're also building tiny homes for people too. I've been following them on YouTube. So yeah, they look like
Yes,
they're
indeed.
awesome. Yeah.
Amy Cantrell and Panko Bemejo and Adrienne someone. Those are the three top people in that group, and they're just superhuman angels for years and years, tireless,
Awesome.
tireless. And people also, if they're in this area, they can consider volunteering because they don't have big budget. You know,
Right.
there was a big concert put on by some singers and musicians that made like $24 million, like the third or fourth week after the hurricane. And it went to some good places, but beloved Asheville wasn't, like, they're doing all the work, so they're not like high connected politically in the
Right.
nonprofit world. So that's why this is the first agency that I tell people to give to is Beloved Asheville. The second one is something called Valley Strong Disaster Relief. You've probably been, some people are following Jason A. Ward, who is the owner of a local hemp company, and he is working out of a place called Silverados, which is an outdoor music venue about 5 miles from me. And he has started a group called Valley Strong Disaster Relief out, and they have been not doing any music. They've just been, that whole place for 3 months now has been dedicated to collecting and storing stuff and brokering people who are volunteering to give their little campers and mobile homes and places where people could live or tents or um, they've been they've just been going great gangbusters. So the second one is Valley Strong Disaster
Awesome.
Relief. And then there's one called Care and Compassion, which is brand new as of about brand new 5013, which is about a week old. They've
Oh
been
wow.
doing the work, but they just became an official 501c3.
Awesome.
And it's this young, beautiful woman named Tracy Adams. And she just is so passionate and so innocent and so full of love. Just she's been just helping people in any way she could. And now she's also a nexus for people who donate trailers and campers. Just to get, I mean, the big thing is to get people off the ground when
Yes,
it's
we gotta
freezing.
get people into campers. So if you're here
Yes,
that you got a camper sitting in your yard, like please consider donating it. Like, I mean, make someone holiday, like get them out of these tents. It is cold up in the mountains.
right.
Yeah,
It is. And there I have been hearing, not publicized on mainstream media, but through sort of the private, um, the social media, that I believe that there have been some people that have died, have frozen.
yeah,
I mean, it's all kind of weird because it's like crypto. There's so many narratives that are not real and you have to sort them out. Like there was this one guy that was the head of this Patriot thing that was supposedly rescuing people. I don't know if they were or not, but he spread this whole big story like in week 3 or 4 about a baby dying of cold overnight in a tent. And it turned out it was a publicity stunt.
wow.
So he's out of that organization and they're trying to redeem their good name. And so, I mean, you just gotta basically these three are people that I know, and I
Yeah.
know they're out there doing things.
No, that's so good. And it's so hard, right? Because it's kind of like, we were joking about the XRP scam and people like when there's a tragedy, a disaster, like there's so many scammers, right? Because people open up their wallets, they open up their hearts. All we want to do is help. And that's kind of why it's so important that we have someone like you. You are there in Black Mountain, boots on the ground. You know these people personally and we're getting it's helping, so I appreciate that.
Yes. But back to crypto, since I know you try to aim all your podcasts at both sort of the newbies and the people that are more experienced. Would you explain? It always helps me to hear it again too. The difference between centralized and decentralized blockchain.
Yeah, for sure. So I think like a really good explanation of like Bitcoin, right, which is a decentralized blockchain, is like when we send each other emails, like you get a copy and I get a copy. So what Bitcoin was, the code that was written for the Bitcoin blockchain, it was able to take value out of my account and put it into your account. No copy, right? So it's actually sending value through the internet, which is,
Right.
you know, utilizing blockchain, transparent for everyone to see. So anyone can
But
go
anonymous.
but anonymous, right? Because we all have like our string of letters, right? If you look at a credit card, you have like a string, your account number. We have our account number not
Right.
attached to our identity, but every single transaction is transparent for every single person to see.
Right.
Okay. So with and also because Bitcoin is global, there's over I don't know, like 10, 15,000 nodes. If you think of a node as like a server, but these huge computer systems all over the world, it makes the security so good, so decentralized that if a hacker came and took down like 25, 30% of all those servers, Bitcoin doesn't miss a beat. And this is
Right.
this is where like the big, technological upgrade is coming. Like everything is going to move to the blockchain because in our current world, Bank of America gets hacked. Very centralized, one point of failure, one
Right.
server, right? Home
Right.
Depot, Lowe's, Facebook, or Google, Microsoft, everything is one point of failure. Every company, every business, every government is going to move to the blockchain. Anything of value is going to be moving to the blockchain. So this is where we kind of get in this to like the greatest transfer of wealth, right? Because it's kind of like we're in this internet.com bubble again, but wow, this is so much bigger, right?
Right. But the everything is not being transferred to the decentralized blockchain. Tell us about the centralized blockchain.
Right. So in the United States, what I'm looking at right now is like the Federal Reserve Bank is they have a payment. program called Fed Now. And
Uh-huh.
so that can be like a central bank digital currency. So very centralized. Okay, very
Is that
central.
how you expect the Social Security payments to come through
I do.
and Medicaid and stuff?
I do.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So and even if we're like, we're not going to do a central bank digital currency, we'll use like a stable coin. So we have like the United States digital coin. Ripple just launched their stable coin called Ripple USD,
I saw that.
right?
Yes.
But these can be programmed. These are centralized, right?
Uh-huh.
And they can be programmed into our wallets, but they can also be programmed out of our wallets.
Right,
Very
exactly.
centralized.
By not us.
Right. So that's why we hold Bitcoin and we hold, we are our own bank. We hold gold and silver. We hold money outside the system. Look, our system right now is very centralized. We have a major issue in this country of people like Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple. He was debanked by
I
Citi.
know.
What did he do
Uh-huh.
wrong? You created something amazing that's going to disrupt our SWIFT system and our banking systems? Oh, you're
Yeah.
banked,
We've
right?
got to punish you.
Right.
You're
So,
helping empower the people. I'm sorry.
right, right. And there's a lot of people that have been debanked, so, and I think the more that that happens, and, you and I we're watching what's going on and we're seeing things from like a spiritual, you know, put our spiritual caps on and try to tap into like, the world is moving into the age of Aquarius. We're going to have all these amazing new, wonderful, loving
Revolutions
revolutions,
and
right?
evolutions of
It,
consciousness.
it,
Yes.
but these current systems all need to fail, and debanking people like a Brad Garlinghouse exposes what's really going on here.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
I mean,
Exactly.
take a look at the drones. It's like, do we not have the right to know? Do we not have the right to know what's flying over our houses? Do we not have the right to control our own money? And are we that programmed to be like, oh, you do it, right? I mean, we trade our time for money like a lot, 10, 12 hours a day, some of us.
Right.
Shouldn't that be yours?
Yeah. And since now I'm going to forget the name, you'll bring it up to me, the Dodd-Frank Act.
Yes.
And what year was that?
2010.
2010, when they decided that any of my money in a bank, publicly traded or maybe even privately traded bank, they can take if they need it.
Right.
So
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, and it's
that was the clicker for me that really had me searching hard for a crypto helper.
well, definitely. And the censorship, it's just like we've seen people who didn't agree with what was going on during, the vid, and their banks
The
got shut.
vid.
I don't know what to say. Their banks got shut down, and then people couldn't pay their mortgages.
Uh-huh.
So it's one of the reasons why I love crypto so much, is because like when I look at the World Economic Forum, the United Nations, the International Monetary Fund, all of these places, right, have had hundreds of years, or at least 100 years, to figure out a way to bank the unbanked, to have financial inclusion all across the world. Well, that's something crypto brings, and it's
Yeah, and they
right
never
now.
bothered to do it.
They never bothered to do it.
Uh-huh.
So, we need new systems that are accessible to everybody,
Yes.
and I get, like people will argue with me all the time about like, well, it's a digital dollar. It's like, well, you use a dollar every day. It's very
A digital one.
right. Or just
Yeah.
a dollar, so the dollar is not a good financial instrument, but we still use it every day because
I see what you're saying.
this is the system we currently live in.
Right.
But I'm telling you, Kim, by 2030, we're going to be borrowing against our Bitcoin. We're going to be staking our coins, taking those rewards, paying back our loan, and the whole world is going to be So different financially, what it looks like, societal norms, so many things are shifting.
And that's only 5 years away.
It's so
It's
close.
happening quick.
Yeah. And I just, if people like just don't understand, like I just encourage everyone, like get educated. This isn't about coming into crypto, right? And just putting it all in. You don't have to buy anything. Learn about the new financial economy.
But
It's
you're probably going to want to buy something if you can, once you educate yourself, because it's putting you in the driver's seat more
100%.
than more than your overlords.
Right. It's funny, right? Because I always say, like, anyone who researches crypto, 100% of the people that research it, yes.
Yes.
And it's like, even if you buy XRP, realistically, like, let's just say you buy XRP at 250, it goes down to like $1 for the next 10 months. It's going, is a big part of our new financial economy. So if you can just have a long-term view and hold it,
Yes.
you're going to do great. And then if
Right.
you join HODLon.me, we're going to be staking our XRP and lending it out and earning all kind. We're becoming a decentralized bank.
Yes. And I still have to accomplish staking. I have never like got into that layer of it, but I'm
After the
excited.
bull run. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it. Like right now, we're looking to see how much money we made because we've been buying during the bear market. And then during after the crash, because we will crash. We always crash. We are not getting adopted. Our world is full of Bitcoiners and crypto hodlers. But if you go up
Yes.
to your neighbor and you say, "Hey, are you hodling?" They're gonna be like,
They'll
"What?"
be like, well, don't talk dirty to me.
Or keep going, baby. Like,
Whichever, however they feel about you.
exactly. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? So the majority of people, we're so early. We're just so early. We still have to get signed legislation. We need a signed stablecoin bill legislation. We are early. And again, we have one more amazing opportunity to buy these tokens when they're really, really low,
When
as
it crashes
when it
or when it
crashes.
dips.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When it crashes. When it
Uh-huh.
dips, we buy. When Bitcoin's trading at like 140, $150,000, we got to take most profits.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So if someone's
Yeah.
coming in now, right? You're coming in, Bitcoin's like, I don't know, 98 grand or whatever it is today. When Bitcoin goes to 140, just look at your whatever you bought and take it out.
Take that out.
Take it out, just play it safe because our emotions get the best of us as human beings.
When money happens, yeah.
You know what I
Like I've
mean?
been I've been going around on air because I have an extra few $1,000s that I didn't expect to have.
Yeah.
I mean, I literally made a total experiment early on with you that I just said, I'm going to liberate this amount of money and it's play money and I don't ever have to have it back. I never expected anything. I thought it was likely that something good would happen because I could feel the truth in what you were saying. But I don't watch the markets and all that. I don't have the detail brain for it. But now I felt like, oh my God, my experiment is like threefolding me.
I know.
And it may go more
Well,
if
we're
I
just,
hodl longer.
you're going to hodl longer, honey.
And
We're
I'm going to put more in.
We dip along the way. Like Bitcoin can dip all the way down to 80 grand. And if Bitcoin's 80 grand, XRP will be $1.50. Like that's when you buy, because like when it goes up and like you just get so full of joy and FOMO and and like that's when we lose money, right?
You mean if we put a whole lot of money in then?
Without ever taking it out because you're going to be like, oh my God, it's going to go higher. Bitcoin's going to go to 250 grand. And all these YouTubers and all these influencers,
Well, some people are saying it's going to go to 1 million.
right? So, and it will, but not in the next 6 months.
Right.
Right? Like,
So do what you call playing with house money.
Exactly. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and even if you just want to pull your initial investment out and you have a long-term view of, I don't need to touch this money until 2030, that's great. But I would still pull out your initial investment because, like, again, we're going to get regulation, sign stable coin bills. It's going to jolt the market because not all these 20,000 different projects are compliant with the law, right? Like
Uh-huh.
there was a new coin someone posted, George, he posted in our group. We have a fart coin and it's
I
up
know, I
and
saw
it's
that.
up, right? I mean, so all of these,
It's up, right?
so, regulations, it's not a bad thing, right? So, because someone's left holding the bag, you know what I mean? And those coins might not be regulated in the new digital economy. We don't know how it's going to play out, but we'll see. But a lot of the tokens that are in existence today will not be in existence in 2030, right?
Yeah, they're experimental.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and I do
Yeah.
think it's becoming clearer, like who some of the early winners are. XRP, XLM, Chainlink, Ethereum, Solana, Avalanche, Cardano. There's a whole bunch.
Uh-huh.
Algorand, and there's a whole bunch. Hedera.
Uh-huh. Flare, would you put Flare on that list?
So Flare's one of the younger projects, right? But here's the beautiful thing about Flare is decentralizing data, anonymous identity, being tested for people that are visiting mainland China. So if we were going to go visit mainland China, we have to get a decentralized digital ID on the Flare network because
Oh,
they're so high tech in China, they're already doing facial recognition,
I know.
right? So once the trial is over, what's the end game? What's the goal? To bring decentralized ID to every single person in China on the Flare network. So at 3 cents, yeah, it could go to zero. Is a higher risk project because they're not even launched yet, right? But it's looking very, I mean, we're ready to go. This week they're starting to test like XRP, so we could bring XRP onto the Flare network and stake it and earn rewards. So that's coming through the Songbird network, which is the test network for Flare. That's happening this week. I think it's a big winner. I think I
I
really,
know you do.
so I thought Meld was going to do well, went to zero. So what the heck do I know, right?
Well, you know a lot more than many of us because you watch it so close.
Well, and
And
some of the
because you've been in finance.
right, and some of these projects are we're dealing with startups,
Right.
but Ripple and XRP is not a startup. They've been in existence for over a decade. Different.
And how long has Bitcoin been?
Bitcoin's 16 years old.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So it started in 2008,
Mm-hmm.
2009?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Now, some people say that Bitcoin was started by the deep state.
Could have been. I would I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was created by the government. Um, I wouldn't be surprised. Like I heard Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Federal Reserve Bank, during an interview, he's like, we've been studying the blockchain for decades.
Mm-hmm.
So, but again, it's like when I think about, you know, all of this technology can be used for good and it can be used for bad. The technology itself is neutral. It's what the leadership, the corporations and the governments like, are they going to want to take more control over our lives? And are we going to allow them to do that?
Right. Right.
But at the end of the day, I think like I could see people with the automation, artificial intelligence, I think about how many jobs are going to be replaced, that lag time until new jobs or people get trained to do these high tech jobs, right?
Uh-huh.
So we might need a universal basic income, but then we're also going to have a parallel economy, which we participate in, and that's all decentralized.
Oh, you just, for me, in me, my view, you just froze. You said we might need a universal basic income, but we're going to have a parallel economy, did you say?
Yeah, that's how I see it, right? So,
Okay.
because here's the deal, you know, if you have a SafePal wallet, Engrave, EliPal, Ledger, Trezor, any hardware wallet, we're all going to get debit cards and we're going to be able,
From our hardware wallets?
yeah,
Oh, that I didn't know.
yeah. So, you know, we're going to get a signed bill. The government has to be like, okay, boys and girls, you're allowed to self-custody your money. Very strange, very strange, but they're going to do this. And then we're going to be like, whoa, we got the, you know, I got it from SafePal, MetaMask, right? We're going to be able to go and buy things using our crypto, right? So, yeah. So when you hear Trump talk about all United States based like cryptocurrency projects, we're not, you know, there's going to be no capital gains tax because I think,
I know.
but I think the whole tax structure, and I've been saying this for years,
Yeah,
it can't stay the same,
right.
right? We can't go and pay for a cup of coffee using XRP and then pay capital gains tax on that.
Exactly.
That's just weird, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
we'll see, you know, because the bots, the robots, all the bots, they're going to run the financial system. So we're going to see what they figure out, what
That's yeah, that's beyond what I can imagine, but I believe you.
right? But look at the new Pixel phone, right? Gemini is on the new Android and, you know,
Oh,
they're your friend and you can have a conversation with them. You can literally be under the car changing your oil and you'd be like, Gemini, I'm changing the oil. Look at what's going on. Like you would a friend and you'd be like,
you're kidding me. I
no.
have an Android. I didn't know there was a Gemini.
Well, it's brand, you got to get the updated phone.
Okay, I probably won't.
But it's fascinating, Kim, because they're like, oh, you see the bolt to the left next to the thingy, and they're talking to you. Like, yeah.
Wow.
We
Oh,
are getting,
wow.
we're it's called agentic AI. A really
Agentic.
a really good crypto play is artificial liquid intelligence, which is the decentralized platform for agentic AI, which is that Gemini. How cool is that?
Artificial liquid
Liquid
intelligence.
intelligence.
And is that a company?
It's a cryptocurrency project.
It's a coin?
Mhm.
Ooh. Well,
Yeah.
that sounds like a good bet because everybody needs a friend. When
You
you
know,
don't have a friend and you're trying to fix something and
and
you're
just like,
lost.
you know what I mean? This lady was talking to her phone and she was like, "Oh, I had this dream last night and it was like you know, I turned into an oak tree." And they're like, "Oh, wow, that's so cool. Like an oak tree stands for this and blah blah blah." I mean,
Whoa, they help with dream interpretation as well as fixing your car.
so when you think about, you know, AI is tapped into all knowledge on the computer,
Well, yeah.
but
And go ahead.
now it can have a conversation like it's a person.
Yeah. Well, I was on X the other day and there's a new AI on X called Grok.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, I haven't played around with it yet. I use Akash. I'm a, you know, because I own Akash. I love Akash. They
Ah,
have a great,
that's a kind of AI,
mhm,
Akash. Uh-huh. Well, but I asked it some questions and it was wrong, you
not
know, and
always accurate.
I keep reading that it learns from us.
Yes.
So I'm like, how useful is that really?
Well, the thing is that it's like I've never worked with Grok, but it's, you know, when I look at ChatGPT and I look at the first version that came out and where we are today, exponential knowledge growth just over the course of like you know, a year and a half. So
Wow.
you have to,
Wow.
right, same with the blockchain, right? The blockchain was a baby, now we're an adolescent, you know.
Uh-huh.
So
Uh-huh.
it you know, it needs time to learn and to get out all of these like kinks, you know.
Yeah. Right, right.
Right.
Well, it's interesting with both AI and crypto and all these new systems. One of the things that I find most valuable about working with you is that there's this community to ask
Yeah.
and to say, does anybody have experience with this? What does this mean? Oh, sometimes I'm one of the people that is one of your biggest fans, but I'm not one of the people that watches all the stuff all the time because I've got my own business and other projects. But I can watch, I can either get a session with you, which I do, or watch the Telegram and learn
Yeah.
and ask.
Yeah.
So it's not like, I mean, the stuff is overwhelming. All of what crypto, blockchain stuff, the new financial system, AI, all of the new tech stuff is overwhelming. But then working with the hodlers, we're not alone.
Right.
So anybody who hasn't joined hodlers, do it. Seriously. You
Yeah.
can, you can, I mean, I'm not a financial advisor either, but it's very likely you can make money and you can learn about what's coming faster than we know.
It's so interesting too, because it's like none of us are financial advisors, right? Like I was an IT recruiter for over 20 years. I had a lot of like financial clients. That's why I understand the technology. But like I was reading an article about, I think it's like 55% of financial advisors today have no interest in cryptocurrency to talk to their clients. So at this point, you have people with all this experience and education, and we're moving, everything of value is moving to the blockchain, but you're not going to
To
share that.
learn about it or
And
talk about it. I know. That's why I fired my financial guy.
and that's why come to HODLon.me. We specialize in research and you educate yourself. I obviously share all the education, but once you get into it, a lot of people just run with it. It's fantastic, and it's,
Right,
hey, what do you think about this? Or did you guys see this video? And it's just, and it's
right.
such a great community because my dear friend and client Carlotti, her wife, her poor wife, she was like, "Can you talk about anything else besides crypto?" And Carlotti looked at her and she was like, "No." So thank God for the hodlers,
No, you got to have a group to talk with. Yeah,
because it blows your mind. The
it
whole world
does.
is changing, and
Yes,
we're moving to the blockchain. And I think like for a lot of new people, you guys spent so much time, like we were researching and I was posting all the articles from the Federal Reserve website, from Ripple's website, Stellar Foundation, VJ, all of them, right? All of it. We're just doing the research, sharing it. And then all of a sudden now it's like, whoa, Bitcoin's 100 grand. It happened real quick.
uh-huh, it
And then
did.
it's like, you know what? We were right. Like this is
We were, you were. Yeah,
right. I was right. But the thing is we're still so early. And with that said, please don't FOMO in. Fear of missing out, right, Kim? We all get it. We all get it. But guys, I'm telling you, we're still early. Everything of value is moving to the blockchain, right? Diamonds, copper, silver,
all contracts, right?
all contracts, housing deeds, medical records, marriage licenses, driver's licenses, everything is moving to the blockchain.
Right.
So, we have plenty of time because this obviously isn't going to happen, over the next year. But we're going to get a lot of progress done over the next 4 years. I think about Elon Musk being a part of the government and how he came into Twitter and kind of like laid everybody off. Like, what if he does that with the government? Because, when I hear about the Department of Efficiency, I think about automation. Who better to bring in automation for the United States government than Elon Musk? Automate
Mm-hmm.
everything because we're going to. Companies are, and
Mm-hmm.
the United States government is the number one employer in all of the United States.
Is it?
Yeah,
I did not know that.
right. So, I mean, but the thing is, it's like when I look at like automation, whether you're a lawyer, you're an accountant, you're a driver, supply chain, it's like I would just start looking into some of these new jobs. I've been getting emails about new positions, but whatever you do, learn the blockchain side, the AI side. If you can learn artificial intelligence and enhance your current position, you have skills in demand.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
That's good to think about.
Yeah, because if you're driving for Uber, well, Waymo is going to take your job. And I know a lot of people don't know what Waymo is, but
I don't even.
it's one of the largest driverless taxis.
I didn't know that was already out there.
It's in California, it's in Arizona, it's in pretty much every major city around the United States on a small scale, slowly, and then all at once. You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
I must be old fashioned. The idea of getting into a driverless taxi does not appeal to me.
It's really interesting though, because I was watching a young woman go into one of these driverless taxis and she was scared.
Down in Florida?
This one I think was in Arizona. It was either in Arizona or it was on YouTube, Arizona or California. And she was freaked out. But once she got in, there was no creepy, driver saying and she actually felt safer.
Wow.
So, you know what I mean?
I know. I know. Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes, but it's all the major cities have been testing this stuff. There's a company called Joby that's they're doing like air taxis to LaGuardia Airport from.
Air taxis?
Yeah, and soon they'll be
You're getting
driver.
in a little helicopter
Yeah,
or something?
yeah,
Wow.
and then eventually they'll be driverless and they'll just be like
You'll
unmanned.
be riding a big ass drone.
I prefer to ride it myself.
Right,
We're getting a
exactly.
fine car. We'll just have one per community.
Uh-huh.
Like, oh, hey, I want to go see my girlfriend down in Atlanta for lunch. Take the car.
That sounds fun.
I know.
Well, the other thing I wanted to mention for people that are considering crypto and considering working with you is that when I saw this was now 3 years ago or so maybe a little less, when I saw the rate of inflation and what was happening to my money in its legacy instruments, where it was, and in the bank, where it was just draining huge percentages of itself out. And at least with crypto, I felt like I had a shot at increasing the value rather than just continuing to be a victim to the draining of its value away.
Right. Right. And again, it's like, you know, I'm I I'm happy because you took the chance to learn about Bitcoin and some of this crypto because, you know, I don't think people really realize because it's like slowly eroding our purchasing power over time. So no one really notices, right?
I notice.
Right, exactly. Especially when you're looking at retirement and
I
everyone's
know.
right,
I'm half retired right now. I
right.
get Social Security and I work about half time, but um I need to know where my money's going, and I need to know that some of it at least is making money for itself.
100%. And the idea of Bitcoin only having 21 million coins, you can't print more Bitcoin,
Right.
right? So Bitcoin is deflationary over time. The purchasing power of Bitcoin strengthens. And I always use the example of a house. So like 10 years ago, you needed like probably like, I don't know, 100,000 Bitcoin, right? To buy a $400,000 house. But today you
Yeah.
need 4 Bitcoin.
Right.
So it's
So
deflationary.
that, yes, exactly. Yeah.
Right. So and when I think about like Amazon, their stakeholders, they want a meeting. They're supposed to meet in April to vote on whether or not to bring Bitcoin onto their treasury. Microsoft's shareholders said no, but then like 2 days later, Amazon's like, we want to vote now because we want Bitcoin to be 5% of our treasury. So they want to convert 5% of their cash into Bitcoin. Amazon.
Wow.
Right.
This is a real thing. People just are conditioned to think it's not a real thing, but it is.
Right. And again, it's like, I think that with Trump taking office, and I'm like, does it really matter? Do you really think he's going to not print money? He's 100%. They're all, and it's not even him. It's the Treasury and the Fed that print all. They're not going to stop printing the money. They're just not going to stop printing the money because we never have.
Which
You know,
doesn't make any sense that they're still asking me for taxes when they could just print. They can just figure out what they think I owe and print it, give it to
no,
themselves.
it
You know,
doesn't
it
make
just
any
like
sense.
doesn't even add up.
Right.
You know, why do you have to have my stuff? It's like you want my power. You want the energy, the life force that I put into making money.
Right.
You
And
could just print it.
exactly, exactly. So they can just print the money and like, you know, being with you through everything that happened with Western North Carolina, the day it was safe, all the army should have been there. All the army. You know what I mean? Because this is the United States of America. They sold this propaganda, the home of the free, the land of the brave. Sure, the citizens are, but we're not equipped. Like people are trained to do this stuff, right? You know,
I know.
so it's very eye-opening, and again,
It is.
you
And
know
it supports our decision. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
oh no, go ahead.
It supports the decision of everybody to become sovereign financially
Right.
because we can't, mommy and daddy aren't there.
Right.
Mommy and daddy government. Eh. I don't know if you saw this from afar. I mean, I know you were here for a week or so, but there was a there are two very hard hit towns. One of them was Chimney Rock, and one of them was Lake Fleur. And there was the road. It was a mountain, windy road, switchback road in the mountains, and it was just washed out. And somebody, I don't know if it was from FEMA or some segment of the government, the Army Corps of Engineers or somebody, said this is going to take probably 6 months to a year to fix. And like a small army of like 8 rednecks and trucks came and made a temporary 1 lane road so people could at least get back and forth to get supplies and to begin to do the full rebuild. And they did it in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So we are here. We are the ones we've been waiting for,
100%. And
not outside of us.
I'm all about having systems, right? We need systems. I do believe we need governance, right? But not when there's so much red tape to be like, what form, who's in charge of this, who's in charge of that. Oh, no one knows what to do. Where's the like, it's too much. That's,
Right.
we need efficiency, right? So we
Right.
can we can help like on a dime and hopefully get the government, like if everything moves to the blockchain, we know where every single dollar is coming in and out.
Some accountability. Yes,
I'm looking
exactly.
forward to that day.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep, yep. So yeah, so you have any last thoughts about crypto? I think we're gonna have a crypto Christmas. I know we're going through a bit of a correction. The market is volatile. It bounces up and down. It's totally normal. There's no need to panic. No,
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, I always say, no matter what happens, we're moving to a new financial system, and that financial system's based on the blockchain. So even if we went down, we're still going back up. you know?
Right. Well, my biggest idea about crypto is to get somebody you trust. Unless there happens to be a another crypto savant out there listening that wants to do all their own research and everything, but you're a crypto savant. So find your own crypto savant. I recommend Andrea, but find the one that you trust and learn and make your own choices and step into your own financial sovereignty. Don't just wait for people to figure stuff out for you. It's tempting, but it will never work.
Yeah,
And the other last thing I wanted to say about crypto, especially recently, since my holdings have gone up so much percentage, is it kind of busted the deprivation mentality that I was raised with. My parents were raised in the Depression. And so, and I think there's like a sensible conservative approach that I have to money, but there's also a a bit of a scarcity mentality, and this was like, oh, that's money I never expected coming. Like it opened up my possibility brain. And being in North Carolina, there's a part of me that's now still preparing for the next whatever might happen since I've been through the hurricane and the floods. And so I'd be thinking, oh, maybe I get a wood stove or something to make me feel a little. That could happen. So it's bringing me to the abundance mind.
I love that. And you are
Yes.
so abundant. Yes. And maybe we can even shop for that together.
What fun.
I would love to go shopping for a wood burning stove.
Yes, I already have a chimney, but they just took the stove out before I moved in. So I
Perfect.
just need to figure out if the chimney works and stick a stove on it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Thank you so much, Andrea.
Thank you. If any new people, if you guys are getting excited, please reach out to me. My email address is digitalcoach@protonmail.com. And my website is
Is it protonmail.com or proton.me?
.com. Digital
Oh, I'm
coach.
sorry.
No, you're
Listen to
good.
her.
I wouldn't be surprised. It would be so me if I'm like, oh, I gave you my wrong email address. That's
No,
what I would
I
do.
just remembered it wrong. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Or check, you can always check me out at HODLon.me. HODL. HODL on for dear life until we sell and take profits. I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, you're very welcome.
All right, y'all.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, happy solstice, happy Hanukkah, whatever everybody celebrates. We love everyone. And I'll put some of the links that Kim shared down below. So yeah, if you guys have a couple extra bucks, it all adds up.
Yes.
All right. So until next time, Kim, what are we gonna do?
We're going to hodl on and then take profits when appropriate.
That's right. Huddle on, y'all.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.